There was a village called Djembe, nestled in the heart of Africa. It was a place where traditions ran deep and stories were passed down through generations. The village was situated at the bottom of Baobab Hill, a hill that was both revered and respected by the villagers. On top of this hill stood a very tall baobab tree, ancient and wise, its presence commanding awe and reverence. Its branches were so high they seemed to touch the sky, reaching out like arms embracing the heavens. The people of Djembe believed the tree had magic powers, a gift from the gods that watched over them. They said it could make rain and give life, turning the arid land into a lush paradise. Elders would gather under its shade to tell stories about the tree's spirit, tales of wisdom and wonder that captivated young and old alike. They said it listened to their prayers and answered them, a silent guardian that provided hope and solace. The baobab tree was the most important thing in Djembe, a symbol of life, strength and unity for the entire village. In the village lived a young girl named Amara. She was very curious and always asked questions. Amara didn't believe in made-up stories. She didn't think the baobab tree had any power. "It's just a tree," she would say. "How can it make rain?" The villagers sighed. They told her to just believe in its magic. The dry season arrived, bringing with it an oppressive heat that seemed to never end. The sun was very hot, scorching everything in its path and leaving the land barren and lifeless. The ground became dry and cracked, resembling a broken mosaic of despair. The plants died and the villagers became worried. Their once lush fields now lay in ruin and they desperately needed rain. The oldest person in the village, a wise elder with years of knowledge, called everyone together. He said, "We must ask the baobab tree for help." The villagers, filled with hope and desperation, agreed. They brought gifts for the tree, offerings of their most precious possessions, and prepared to ask for its help, hoping for a miracle. Amara watched the villagers. She had always been curious about the traditions of her people, but today felt different. There was a palpable tension in the air, a mix of fear and hope that she couldn't quite understand. She still wasn't sure about the tree. The baobab tree stood tall and ancient, its gnarled branches reaching out like the arms of an old guardian. It was said to be the heart of the village, a symbol of life and resilience. But to Amara, it was just a tree. Until now. But she saw they were scared. The villagers whispered among themselves, casting anxious glances at the sky and the tree. They spoke of a drought that had lasted too long, of crops failing and water sources drying up. Their fear was almost tangible, like a dark cloud hanging over them. She also saw they had hope. Amara felt bad. She wanted to help. She saw the glimmers of hope in their eyes, the way they looked at the tree as if it could save them. She felt a pang of guilt for not understanding sooner. She wanted to be a part of their hope, to help in any way she could. The villagers walked to the baobab tree and Amara followed. They sang and danced. Their voices rose in a harmonious chant, a song passed down through generations. The rhythm of their dance was like a heartbeat, steady and strong, echoing the pulse of the earth beneath their feet. They gave their gifts to the tree. Fruits, flowers and handmade trinkets were placed at its base, each offering a token of their faith and gratitude. Amara watched in awe, feeling the weight of their collective hope. Amara touched the tree's bark. She felt something unusual. The rough texture of the bark was warm under her fingers, almost as if the tree was alive and breathing. A strange sensation coursed through her, a connection she couldn't explain. The village elder asked Amara to speak. His eyes were kind but serious, filled with a wisdom that came from years of experience. He believed in the power of the young, in their ability to bring change. He said, "The tree needs to hear from someone with a good heart." His words resonated with Amara, filling her with a sense of purpose. She realized that this was her moment to make a difference. Amara didn't know what to do at first. Then she spoke. She asked for rain. Her voice was shaky at first, but it grew stronger as she spoke from her heart. She asked for the village to be safe, for the drought to end and for the land to be fertile once more. She asked for the village to be safe. Clouds covered the sky. The once clear sky began to darken, heavy clouds gathering as if in response to her plea. The sound of thunder rumbled. It was a deep, resonant sound that seemed to come from the very heart of the earth. Rain poured down on Djembe. The first drops were met with gasps of disbelief, quickly followed by cheers of joy as the rain intensified, soaking the parched ground. The villagers were very happy. They danced in the rain, their faces turned upwards in gratitude. their spirits lifted by the life-giving water. Amara looked at the baobab tree. She finally understood. The tree was more than just wood and leaves. It was a symbol of their unity and faith. The spirit of Baobab Hill was real. It was a living, breathing entity that thrived on the love and belief of the villagers. It lived in their togetherness. The spirit was a reflection of their collective strength and resilience. It lived in their belief. The villagers' faith had the power to bring about real change, to turn their hopes into reality.